Hey guys, wanted to take a minute and talk to you about the stuff that's still going on here in Virginia with the whole gun laws, and the Republican Party, screaming, "Hey, it's our Second Amendment right. You can't take away our Second Amendment rights," and the Democratic Party saying things like, "Why would you ever need a 30-round mag?" and "Why would you ever need an AR-15?" and things to that effect. First, I am a gun lover. Second, I agree that it is our right to be able to have the firearms that we want. However, the argument that the Republican side and the gun-loving side have been making all this time, that it's our Second Amendment right, the Democratic Party don't care about that argument. It's the same tired argument that they've been listening to forever. And they're still trying to do what they're doing. So that got me thinking, like, how can we go about this in a different direction? So I started doing some statistical research, and I wanted to kind of share that research with you to kind of clarify a couple of things. First, the law that they're trying to pass, the SB 16 law, saying that it would make magazines that could hold more than 10 rounds illegal, is completely counterproductive when it comes to self-defense scenarios. And I'll explain that with the research that I've done. So first, let's create or get some information out there. The first bit of information that I want to share is, contrary to what Hollywood would like you to believe, outside of direct heart shots and direct head shots, 95% of single gunshot wounds are survivable. Now, the average attacker, you have to shoot them, the round actually hitting the person, anywhere between 2 to 4 times to get them to decide to want to stop the attack. And that was done by several parallel studies that came up with the same answer. One said anywhere from 2 to 4, one said approximately 2.45, which, when you shoot a bullet, you don't shoot a piece of a bullet, you shoot a whole bullet. So that's approximately 3 rounds. So with that being said, it takes anywhere from 2 to 4 shots to stop an attacker. Now you may think, hey, that's not too bad. So why would you need 10 rounds? Because it says right there, 2 to 4 shots. Well, let's take into account a couple of things. One, when a person is in a stressful and life-threatening situation, they are going to be shaky, jittery, nervous. They're not going to be stable. And it's going to be hard to get an accurate shot off. On average, statistically speaking, it takes the average civilian approximately 5.5 shots to get one hit on an attacker. Now, again, we don't operate in portions of bullets. So on average, it takes around 6 shots to get one hit on an attacker. Now, if you do that math, that means it takes anywhere from 12 to 24 shots for you to get that 2 to 4 rounds to hit the attacker to get him to decide to stop the attack. Now, what happens if there's more than one attacker? Now that 30-round mag don't sound too bad. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of statistics from the Bureau of Justice and things to that effect, and then we're going to go into other types of things that can further bring this home for you. One, in a Bureau of Justice statistic special report, half of all robberies, a third of all assaults, and a fourth of all rapes are committed by armed assailants. Now, another report from the Justice Department study-based crime data found that 83% of all Americans will be a victim of an attempted or completed violent crime. Now, a violent crime is identified as an assault, a robbery, or a rape. And out of that 83%, 52% of those, it'll happen to them more than once. Those are the kind of people that need to protect themselves. Now, let's talk about the average reload time, how fast you can shoot, and how fast a person can run. And then I'll put it all together so you understand why this is important. All right, so first, the average person can fire a semi-automatic rifle or pistol approximately 3 rounds per second. All right, a trained individual to reload takes approximately 1.5 seconds to change their mag. Now, an untrained person can take up to 4 seconds to change their magazine. That's if they even think to bring a secondary magazine in the first place. Now, let's couple that with the fact that the average person can sprint approximately 12 feet per second. Now, why is all that important? That's anywhere from 3 to 16 rounds being fired at you, and the potential for a criminal to rush you anywhere from 18 to 48 feet to try and attack you while you're trying to reload because you only had that 10-round mag. So that in itself is a very dangerous situation that could be avoided if people understood the reality of the accuracy of firearms and the way people shoot and the statistics of crime. But the Democratic Party don't want to hear that shit. Facts about violent crimes. 71% of gunshot victims have previous arrest records. 64% of them had been convicted of a crime. Victims had an average of 11 prior arrests. 63% of the victims had criminal histories, and 73% of that group knew who their assailants were. Fact: gun-related murders are carried out by a predictable pool of people, and it's not the law-abiding citizen. So who are these laws supposed to protect? Because they're not going to protect the law-abiding citizen. Now, I'm going to give some statistics on the area that's being affected for me, which is Spotsylvania. All right. So the CDC releases a report on crime-related gun deaths on a yearly basis. Now, if the deaths are less than 10 per 100,000, the CDC don't report it. Now, I pulled this directly from the CDC website. In this county, Spotsylvania County in Virginia, we haven't had enough crime-related gun deaths for the CDC to report since 1999. Now, if you do that math, Spotsylvania County has approximately 136,000 people living in it. If you do that math, that means you have less than a 0.001% chance of dying in a gun-related crime in this county. So, again, who are these laws supposed to protect? They're not protecting the law-abiding citizens. They're giving a leg up to the criminals. So, I hope this little chat kind of opened your eyes on a couple of things. Feel free to argue the case. If you have any feedback that you want to throw in, I'm all ears. I hope this enlightened you. Have a good day.